I buy and sell houses in America, and I've not seen a single one of them in person. I'm 8,000 miles away in Bangkok, Thailand, and last year my business did more volume than it did when I lived 20 minutes away from the houses. Because the thing in real estate that nobody wants you to know is this: it was never really a local business. A real estate deal, it's a phone call, it's a relationship. Everything else, the driving, the kitchen table, the handshake in person, that's all theater. And once you understand that, I can't invest, I don't live in the right market, all those things stop being an excuse. You see, there is no right market. There's just a phone, there's a relationship, there's a buyer and a seller. That's it. So here's the plan, step by step, what wholesaling is and how the money actually moves. 3 ways to find deals, 3 ways to find buyers, and all of it is doable from any zip code or any country. And at the end, I'll tell you the truth about the number that every guru in this space promises you. My name is Jason, but some people call me Mr. Bangkok. I buy, wholesale, and hold houses all over the US, and I run the entire operation from Bangkok, Thailand. I used to do this business the normal way, in person, in Atlanta. I'll tell you what changed my mind in just a few minutes. Everything you've heard about getting started in real estate assumes geography. Pick a market near your house, drive the neighborhoods, sit at the seller's kitchen table. But every mechanical piece of real estate, the deal, the contract, the comps, the money, the closing, it went digital years ago. The industry just keeps its rituals. So everything I teach you today has one filter on it. Can you do it from a laptop anywhere on earth? And the answer for every single step is yes. If you've never heard the word wholesaling, wholesaling is the easier, faster, lower risk cousin of flipping houses. And I can compare them honestly because I've done both a lot. When you flip a house, look at the job that you're actually signing up for. Find the good deal, then find the money to buy it, yours, a partner's, or a bank's. Then renovate it, which means contractors, which means months of your life and 100 visits to Home Depot. Then list it, then sit it on the market waiting for a buyer who can actually get a loan that closes. And in a slow market, kind of like we're in right now, buyers get picky, repairs go up, and if you really get lucky, at the end of all of it in 6 months, you get paid. A house flip is like 5 jobs wearing one name: deal finder, fundraiser, construction manager, listing manager, and loan babysitter. And you don't get paid until all of those go right, many, many months from now. A wholesale is one of these jobs. Find the deal, someone else brings the money, someone else swings the hammers, and you get paid in weeks, not seasons. Same first step, but 1/5 of the entire process. That's why I've moved my own business heavily towards wholesaling. So wholesaling keeps step 1, find a great deal, and deletes everything else. Instead of buying the house, you get it under contract, then you sell that contract, that position, we call it equitable interest, to another investor for a fee. You see, you never owned the house, you never renovated it. And here's the from anywhere part. Flipping houses is genuinely hard to run remotely. You see, contractors need eyes on them. You're gonna need to visit Home Depot. Wholesaling doesn't have that problem, which is exactly why it's the strategy that survives an ocean or living on the other side of the world. Here's the mechanics. And instead of a made-up example with made-up numbers, I'm gonna give you a real one. 2020, I had a motivated seller lead that came into our office. The deal was in Marietta, Georgia. Single family house, inherited. It needed a full renovation. The seller, his name was Dan, couldn't fix it up and couldn't afford to do anything with it. The house was just sitting there, wait on him. Now, I never met Dan. I never saw the house in person. His own cell phone photos, Google Street View, and the comps from my desktop. That's it. That's the entire due diligence process. Here's the money. I signed a contract with Dan to buy the house at 150 grand. And I found an investor, a flipper, who wanted the project, and he wanted it so bad, for 200 grand. I assign my equitable interest to him. He steps into my shoes as the buyer, brings the money, and on closing day, the title company takes his funds, pays Dan every dollar that Dan agreed to, and gives me the difference. The difference on that deal was a little over $50,000, about 2 weeks, start to finish. People think a wholesale fee is a commission. It definitely is not. I sign a contract to buy a house at one number, and I sell that contract or my equitable interest of that contract to an investor at a higher number. I never touch a hammer. On closing day, the title company pays the seller every dollar that he agreed to and wires me the difference. $50,000 on a house that I never saw from a man that I never met. 2 weeks, start to finish. That's the entire machine. That's how I've built freedom. Now there's a whole other story in how that deal almost died before it ever got to closing. You see, my own company nearly killed it. That's its own video, and that video is going to tell you the reason that I'm actually in Bangkok right now. For today, just hold on to the mechanics. Nothing in that deal required my body to be in Georgia. Nothing in this business requires your body to be in America. Now, why would investors like me shift towards wholesaling even if we have flipping experience? The old school wisdom gives 2 reasons, and they're right. Scale. No contractors, no capital raising means more deals with the same team. And risk. In a soft market, the flipper is left holding the bag, not the wholesaler. But there's a third reason that nobody ever puts on the list, and it's worth more than both, and that is geography. A flipping business owns your body. A wholesale business only needs your voice and your judgment, and those travel at the speed of a phone call. Scale, risk, freedom. Pick any 3. Okay, the whole deal in this game is finding deals and finding buyers. So let's first talk about deals. 3 ways, and I'll rank them by budget. The first way is the MLS, the multi-list service, which is basically everything that you see today on Zillow. Wait, you can wholesale on-market houses? Yes, you make a lot of offers below asking and lock up the ones where the seller says yes below the market value. A truly good number, a good deal, always finds a buyer in any market. The tool is the auto search. Create an alert that fires the moment a listing matches criteria. The classic screen is price per square foot. If an area averages $200 per foot, get an alert on anything listed near $150 per foot and offer on it the same day. Here's the from anywhere part. You can't set up MLS access from Bangkok all by yourself, but you really never needed to. All you need to do is partner with one investor-friendly agent in your market. They set the searches, they submit your offers. Or, even easier, you can call agents directly off Zillow. Explain that you're unrepresented and you'll let them get both sides of the commission, meaning 6% for them instead of 3%. And in the end, it's the seller who pays them. Everything runs on emails and signatures online. Speed matters way more than location, and a laptop is much faster than a car. Everyone thinks that wholesale deals require some kind of secret off-market lists. Meanwhile, properties hit the open MLS and Zillow every week priced way under their area's price per square foot. Bad photos, tired listings, lazy agents, divorces, people moving or sick or going into foreclosure. Set an alert at 25% under the area average and offer on it the day it lists. And when one seller in 50 says yes, you've got a wholesale contract deal that you found for free on Zillow. I've done it plenty of times, and every step of it is virtual. You could do it from the moon, I guess, assuming the moon has Wi-Fi. Way number 2, other wholesalers. You see, every market has wholesalers who are great at finding deals, but they're super bad at selling them. So you partner with them. It's called co-wholesaling, or sometimes called a joint venture, a JV. And it's structured one of two ways. Either you split the fee, they've got the contract, you bring the buyer, 50-50, or they name their number. I need 410 on this one. Anything above it is yours. So you find a buyer at 420. You literally just made $10,000 on a deal that you didn't find. If you're broke, this is your entry into real estate. JV, joint venture. There are wholesalers everywhere who are sitting on signed contracts that they don't know how to sell. The hard part, getting a seller who trusts them, it's already done. You bring the buyer, you split the fee, and every piece of that can be done from anywhere. Find the deals that are in investor Facebook groups. Find the buyers that are looking at those deals and reach out to them. Connect two humans by phone. No license, no capital, no boots on the ground, and your first 10 grand is literally 2 phone calls away. And listen, if you have no money, start there. The hardest skill in this business is getting a seller to trust you enough to sign. In a JV, that part is already done. Your entire job is just matchmaking, and matchmaking is a laptop job. Look, that business was never local to begin with. Way number 3, direct to seller marketing. Now this one costs money, but it's where the $50,000 fees live, because there's no realtor and no other wholesaler standing in the middle. You're going straight to the homeowner. There's 2 flavors, outbound. It's like cold calling, texting. You reach out to people who basically have never asked. It's cheap, high volume, and a grind. It's kind of a spray and pray method. 1% say yes. Or the second method is inbound. The seller contacts you from a mailer, an ad, a lead platform. Those leads are warm. They raise their hand. And warm costs real money. What do I run? I run inbound leads. Dan was an inbound seller lead, because when the phone rings with someone who wants an offer, everything downstream from that gets easier, including doing it from 11 time zones away. My team answers, and after hours, I have an AI voice agent that picks up and has a full conversation with them to qualify them and set the appointment. But that's its own video. Things that the gurus still teach that I wouldn't spend an hour on: driving for dollars, no way. Burning gas to collect addresses, data subscription hands you in bulk, no way. Putting out bandit signs, look, half the time that's illegal, and the other half is just straight up amateur hour. Door knocking, look, you're not selling a vacuum cleaner. It's your job to find motivated sellers. It's a waste of time. Notice what those 3 things all have in common. They all require you to physically be somewhere. The methods that actually scale, inbound leads, phone, data, they don't care where your body is. Skip the theater and time zones, because everybody asks. Georgia's evening is Bangkok's morning. Sellers call after work, and I answer them with my first cup of coffee. The time difference isn't a wall, it's a shift in schedule. Gurus say, pick a market area 15 minutes from your house. My market area is wherever the deals are, because my commute is a phone call. Seller in Georgia gets home at 6 p.m. and calls about the postcard we sent him. Well, that's morning time in Bangkok. I take that call with my coffee while my competitors are logged off for the night. People think living abroad is somehow a handicap, but I see it as the edge. I'm working the evening leads fresh. The map was never the constraint. The phone was the whole business all along. Look, now you've got the 3 ways. Here's the mistake that beginners make in wholesaling. They try all 3 at once. They do one for a few days, then another for a few days, then another. Pick one. Pick it by budget. No money? JV. A little money and patience? MLS and Zillow offers every day. Real budget? Inbound direct to seller. And here's the thing, do it until you get a deal. When you get your first fee with one channel and you kind of understand how it works, then think about adding others. Volume in one lane beats noise in 3. Inbound leads are what I run, and it's the best cost per conversion conversation that you're gonna have in this business. Once you can afford it, Google PPC, pay-per lead, and mail are the highest converting channels for real estate wholesaling. Deals under contract. Now, the buyer. Good news, the buyer is the easy half, and beginners, they have it backwards. One Facebook group, so easy. Search your target plus real estate investors. Buyers are now in there posting what they want. Post a real deal with real numbers and your phone's gonna light up. Here's a free buyer's list that nobody uses. Half the flippers in America document their projects publicly on social media, places like Instagram. They post the before, they post the demo day, they post the reveal. Follow 30 of them in one city and the algorithm will literally start feeding you your buyer's list. DM them, get them on the phone, and you've just built a buyer's list from your couch in a city that you've never been to. Instagram, which is what I just described, is number 2. Number 3 is meetups. And this is the one that used to require your body to be in the room. I used to go to these things called RIA meetings, and you'd have to walk around and pretend to like people. But now, half of these things run virtual or hybrid, and honestly, the Facebook groups are the new meetups. Beginners obsess over, where will I find a buyer? Wrong worry. If your deal is genuinely good, the buyers will materialize out of thin air. Facebook investor groups, flippers all over Instagram, buyers lists that other wholesalers will happily share for a split of revenue. There's never been a good deal that died for lack of buyers. Deals die because the deal was never good. Spend your anxiety not on the buyer, but on getting a good deal. That's the key. Now let's talk about the thing every other video with this topic promises. $10,000 in 30 days. That's great money. You've seen that title, I'm sure 100 times. And I'm not gonna promise it to you outright, but I will tell you the honest version of it. Every guru promises 10K in 30 days of wholesaling, but here's the honest version. The 30-day clock doesn't start when you watch the video. It starts the day that you're making offers or pitching deals to buyers daily. Do that, and a first fee inside of a month is absolutely possible. I've watched it happen. In fact, my first month I did 8 deals. But most beginners spend the 30 days researching, joining a group. Any advice for a newbie? And they call that work. Wholesaling? Well, it's not a secret. It's a phone habit. The money goes to whoever makes the calls. That's it. I want to be straight with you because most people in my position won't be. I can't tell you that you're going to make money in this business because I don't know you. I don't know your market, your budget, or whether you'll actually pick up the phone when it rings. Most people who watch a video like this will literally make $0. Not because the strategy doesn't work, but because they never do the work. What I can tell you is what's not standing in your way. A license, capital, credit, some kind of magic secret, your location. The list of excuses this business accepts is the shortest in all of real estate. So that's the machine. Lock a great deal, assign it to a buyer, the title company moves the money from your city or from mine. If you want to start wholesaling this week, here's your homework. It's free. Join 3 investor Facebook groups in one target market and have one real conversation by phone. A wholesaler, an agent, a buyer, not a DM, an actual call. You'll learn more in 10 minutes of talking than in 10 more videos from me or anyone else. A real estate deal, it's a relationship and a phone call. So go make your first one. And since people ask constantly, yes, I do coach in this area. Not like these guys with like thousands of students and some massive Facebook group or these programs where they charge tens of thousands of dollars. I work with a handful of people at a time, and unfortunately that group is closed right now. I can't let you in, genuinely, for any amount of money. What exists right now is a wait list to get into that group. It's at livefreere.com. And I tell you what, when a seat opens, if you've got your name on that list, we're going to interview from that list. If a business you can run from anywhere is the goal, then put your name on that list. And I tell you what, if you join that wait list, I'll send you my blueprint so you can start implementing this without me coaching you in real life. Actionable steps you can take today, completely free, no charge, just an effort to spread goodwill. Subscribe to this channel and leave a comment below. It helps spread the word. Oh, and that deal in Marietta, the one that I built the entire business model on, it nearly died before it ever reached the closing table. And the reason it didn't die is the single best phone call that I've ever made. And that's what I'm going to talk about in the next video. See you.